Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you a centerpiece for a Sweet 16 birthday. So we have the centerpiece base that we made last week. And I'm going to be using some black 5-inch balloons, some Wildberry polka dot 5-inch balloons, Wildberry 260s, and then I have my 1 and my 6. And then I have 2 of these. These are called hang tabs. And I'll be using these with the foil balloons and showing you how they work. And then last I have a piece of balloon bond. So first we are going to inflate 8 of the Wildberry polka dot balloons, and we're going to inflate them 4 pumps. Okay, and then we're going to inflate 8 of the black 5-inch balloons, and we're going to do 2 pumps on each one of those. And again, this is a double pump, so each direction counts as 1. Okay, now that that is done, we can assemble it onto our base. So, the way we're going to do that is we are going to take 2 of our, these are called duplets, so we're going to take 2 duplets, we're going to twist them together to make a quad, and then we're going to feed it into the pole. Okay, and I'm just adjusting these so that the bottom part of the balloon is not resting on the corner. So now we're going to take 2 black duplets and we're going to do the same thing. Now when I put these together for twisting around the pole, I will crisscross and I will pull so that the necks are pretty, let's see, yeah, you can see this. The necks are down there, and you have a lot of neck space up here so that the pole will be here, and then when you twist it, it'll be directly in the center. So it just makes it look better. And then once I have it twisted on, I will push, being careful not to poke them with my nails. But I will push down in the center to get them nice and snug, as you can see. And then we're going to do the same thing at the very top, and it's probably easier to do the black ones first. I'm used to doing the big ones first, but we'll do it this way today. So again, pulling up And then we just put the pole through and then twist. And then we'll do the same thing with these. If you can see where they're all tied together down there and how I have the neck stretched out. So now what I'm going to do is I don't want to have a lot of the top part sticking out. So I'm going to push up on the wild berry balloons to get them more even. And when I did that, I held the top of the stick just to make sure it wasn't going to pop off. And now I'm going to push the black ones up to the wild berry so they're sitting a little more snug. And then I always like to make sure that they're always facing the same direction. So the bottom two, you know, you can see two of them here, you can see two of them here, as compared to seeing all three and having them twisted. So the next part is I'm going to put together the 16. And so what I'm going to do, the way I do this with the balloon bond, because that's what I'm going to use, is the balloon bond to attach the two. So what I did prior to starting this video is I figured out where I wanted them to touch, and I pushed them together a little bit to see how far the space is. And so you can see it is this long. So if you notice, that's the length of the balloon bond that I cut, which is maybe 2 inches. So now I'm going to once again look and see where it's going to be touching, which is going to be right here. So that's where I want to stick the balloon bond. And then something else I will also do is when I attach it, I will push together to get some of these creases to disappear, just to make it stick better. And then another thing I like to do is I'll rub my hand on it and it warms it up, and that way it's much better for sticking. So now I'm just pushing them together, make sure they have a good attachment. And so now you see we have our 16 all nice and stuck together. Now, for the neck, I just tape it up the back like I've already done with the one. So I just use clear packing tape. If you notice in the other videos, I use this for a lot of different things because it has a really good strong adhesive on it. So now that is ready. Now I don't have an attachment point where I would like one to put it on the centerpiece, so that is where the hang tabs come into place. So you always want to check and see exactly where you want to attach it. I want it to be right on this corner. So what I do with these, as you can see, they are the adhesive part. This is the part you attach. This part has no stickiness to it at all, where the hole is. So all the stickiness runs all the way down to here, and that's a very long piece. And if you were to put that on a centerpiece, and let's say you're a balloon professional and you're getting paid for this job, you're going to have that coming all the way up, which is going to be extremely visible. So one thing you can do is run it along the seam instead of across the front. However, there could be another issue to where it starts to peel off due to the pulling. So what I do is I will take only the sticky part of it, and I find the center point, and then I will cut it. And I will do this with both pieces, because you do need two of them for something like this. Okay, so now what I'll do is you take off your paper backing and you get your point where you want it and get it nice and attached to the balloon. We'll do it with the other part, and this is the part that has the hole on it. So you do want to make sure that you're lining the hole on both of them up, so that way you can use your 260 or whatever you're using to attach it. We'll go right through it. Okay, so those are done. So now I take the extra, the part that I cut off that's just pure adhesive, and I will attach it on, and I will attach it on going crossways. So we have this piece running down this way, so this piece is going to go this way, and I will attach it up at the right where the adhesive starts, right after the circle. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Let's see if you can see this. I'm sure it's hard to see with it being clear, but this is the part that's not, you can see right here. It's right there. This is the part that's not sticky, and it starts right here where it's sticky. So I'm going to place this going right across here so that the top edge of it is right where the adhesive part starts on the other piece. And what this does is it reinforces the adhesive so that it doesn't try to come off when being pulled. So now you want to take, and I just use a 260. You could probably use a curling ribbon or some string. I like using the 260s because they do stretch with it and it works really well. And you normally already have them on hand. In this case, if you're making this exact one, you're going to have multiple, you know, let's say you're getting a bag of 25 of matching 260, so you already have some on hand. and you can just take one of them and cut it right in half, and that gives you, I need some new scissors. That gives you, that'll work for two. You have two centerpieces you can do with one. So you just feed it right through. You just feed it right through the hole. And then I will take it and tie it to the side instead of down on the bottom part, just so it has a closer attachment to the balloon centerpiece. And then you're just gonna figure eight it right in. So you figure out where you want it. What I do is I'll wrap it around, the first one I wrapped around this one, then I wrapped it around this one, came back around, and then went below. And you don't have to, it can stay just on the top part. I just do it just because. So it's sort of leaning a bit because it's on the furniture, but you'll be able to see it better in a second. So now you take a non-cut 260 and you can leave it the way that I have it. So you can see the bottom part. And so that's what it looks like. However, I like to add something into this center section. So I'm going to do bubbles. And you don't need a lot because there's not a whole lot of space right here. So I'm going to do 3 pumps. This is going to be too much. I'm going to end up deflating some of it. But it's better to have too much and deflate than have not enough and have to redo it. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to start off making your bubbles before you attach it in. So I'm squeezing it just to soften it up. And we're just going to make a bunch of 1-inch bubbles. So make sure you hold on to your first bubble. Okay, so you can see that as long as you're holding onto your first bubble and you're holding onto the end, none of the other bubbles are going to come loose. When you start getting to where it's feeling tight, then you give it a squeeze to loosen it up again. Okay, so I've made quite a few. I've actually made too many, but that's okay. We'll just get rid of the extra in a minute. So you want to make sure you keep your bubbles fairly consistent in size. You don't want to have like a 1-inch bubble and then a 2-inch bubble. So now you take your first part and you can figure eight it into the bottom. Making sure not to let go of your end. Okay, so now that that's in there, I'm going to just twist this around. And I think I want to go up to this one. So I'm just going to let the rest of them go back out. And then cut the tip of the balloon. And then you don't need all of this. So I'm gonna give myself about 3 fingertip length piece and cut off the rest just to make sure I have enough to attach it into the top. Okay, so now we have the centerpiece all done, and I will show you what it looks like.